Welcome to Sports Beat. I am your host, David Lazar, along with my panelists, Griffin Schmoyer and Jair Brooks-Davis. Let's jump right into the NFL offseason. Guys, it has been an exciting one thus far, but the New York Football Giants might be the winners of free agency. Is it enough for them to win the NFC East?
Well, David, the NFC East was a very weak division last year. With some of the moves that the Giants have made, it is certainly possible that they can make the playoffs. But we do need to see Daniel Jones improve as a quarterback, and he definitely needs to mature.
I agree with Jair. I think that the season really falls on the shoulders of Daniel Jones. He cannot turn the ball over as much as he did last year. He needs to be more consistent, and he's got a huge receiver now to do that with in Kenny Golladay and nice backup at tight end in Kyle Rudolph. I think this team is very good in a division that has a lot of interesting teams, but I think that they have a fair shot at winning it this year.
Their co-tenants in East Rutherford, the New York Jets, they also made some moves this offseason, but did they do enough?
I wouldn't say that it's enough, David. They are still competing in the AFC East. They are going up against a team like the New England Patriots who have made quite a bit of some moves. But it's going to be interesting to see who they draft with the second overall pick.
Yeah, like Jair said, I think that this really falls on the second overall pick. No team is complete after free agency, and they have a big draft upcoming. Do they stick with Sam Darnold, or do they go for a Zach Wilson or a Justin Fields? But I really like what they did along the defensive front. Adding guys like Sheldon Rankins and Carl Lawson from the Bengals are huge additions that they're just going to be able to keep piling pressure on offensive lines and really get pressure on a quarterback.
And there were some big moves. There was Corey Davis, there was Kenny Golladay, as we mentioned, but that's not all that happened in the NFL. There were some moves that were even bigger. What was your favorite one from around the league?
Well, David, I'm going to have to say Nelson Agholor signing with the New England Patriots. It's going to be interesting to see how Bill Belichick has him and Cam Newton paired together, and the Patriots have made a lot of other moves. But Nelson Agholor was in the top 30 of reception yards last year, and how is he going to mature and improve in New England?
Honestly, my favorite pick here is the former Vikings offensive tackle Riley Reiff going to the Cincinnati Bengals, who had a great free agent class overall. But this adds an interesting wrinkle into the draft because Reiff can play tackle as well as he can play guard. So if they like a guy like a Penei Sewell, they can move Reiff to guard and then move Sewell to left tackle and continue to build up the offensive line to protect Joe Burrow. Or they could trade down, leave Reiff at tackle, and go out and get another guard in a really deep offensive line class. The top priority has been protecting Joe Burrow this offseason for the Bengals, and they're doing exactly that.
The offensive line will be especially important this season as the NFL is switching to a 17-game regular season. Some people like the decision, but some people do not. What are your thoughts on the league's decision to make the season 17 games?
Well, in recent years, a lot of fans and people around the world have questioned the NFL in regards to player safety and player health. Is the NFL going to cancel a preseason game and add another regular season game? Who knows? But it's going to be interesting, and the owners could definitely get a lot of benefits, and the fans still could get a lot of benefits.
Yeah, I agree with Jair. This move is very owner and fan centric. It's going to be more viewership on TV, more money coming into the league, which makes the cap bigger. But this move does not put an emphasis on player safety. What about teams that have early bye weeks that are going to have to struggle through even more games with potentially more injuries? What if a superstar on a team gets hurt right before the playoffs with this extra game and it completely changes what could be a championship-winning team? Players have complained about the NFL and how they've been dealing with player safety for a while now, and I think this is just another black mark on the record. I don't like the move.
There are some really interesting points that you guys made, but unfortunately, that's all the time we have here tonight. I would like to thank my panelists, Griffin Schmoyer and Jair Brooks-Davis, for joining me tonight. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at HofstraSB, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch all of our episodes and packages. Until then, I'm David Lazar, and have a great night.